Greetings, everyone. BJ Weiler back with you right now. There we go. Just getting my multiplayer server up and running here, or multiplayer game up and running here for Farm Sim 19, our fifth most favorite simulation game that we have played, even though we've actually played it the least out of all three of the farming sims that we've played. It's one of those, it's to where, it's just, thank you to Tasmanian Devil's Bro, who actually gifted me this game. I actually got it after I got Farm Sim 15 and 17, so there's that. Plus, we've only been doing multiplayer on it on stream, and I haven't really had a lot of time to do my single player. God, what am I looking for? My single player game as often as I would like, because, time is an issue. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, just how, it's just been fun being in here, especially with multiplayer, doing it with Taz and Battery, the one time Battery's able to join us. It's just, those things to where it's graphically better. It's got some different, additional features and stuff which make it better. So even if it may not be, even if maybe Farm Sim 15 is actually my favorite right at this moment, I think, at the end of the day, it really, the order I put these games in is where they would fall on my list of favorites. Because at the end of the day, the way I judge it is, given this choice, which one would I gravitate to? Which one would I say, if I can only play one of these at this moment right here when I'm making this list, out of the three, it would be this one. It'd be I would go into Farm Sim 19 and do that one. And then, between Farm Sim 15, Farm Sim 17, which one would I end up choosing? It'd be Farm Sim 17. So that's essentially for some of these lists, how they ended up, how I ended up placing the games where they were at. Because, I think I've mentioned this for some of the other lists, like the City Builder Management list. It's really, they're all my favorites, and it's really, they could place anywhere on the list at any time. But it's, one of those things, okay, I'm making this list right here. We're going to find the list right now, finalize the list at this moment. Which one would I immediately at that moment gravitate to? And that's pretty much how I came up with some of these lists and stuff like that. Now, the overarching theme, of course, like I said, in purposes of what I've put up on my website, I didn't break down individual, series into the individual games. Like Guild Wars is my all-time favorite game. Well, I didn't break that down into which campaign is which, because it's the overall thing. And the same thing with the Farming Simulator, the Hunter, the Truck Simulators. They're all, American Truck and Euro Truck are the same. I like them equally. But in the terms of this list, where would they place? That's where I start thinking more about it. It's like, where did I put this one ahead of this one ahead of that one? And so, with this list in particular, I broke everything down because each game is a little bit different. They're separate games and they have different mechanics, which make one better over the other, different graphics, which make one better over than the other. So I think for the terms of an extended list, breaking them down, is the right thing to do for me. And that's what we did, because it's our lists and we're doing it the way we wanted to do it. And hey, it works for me. Hopefully it works for you and you guys find it entertaining. But of course, this is all to raise money. Let's not forget why we're doing this to begin with, and that's to raise money right here for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. 100% of what we raise goes to helping sick kids get better. Every single penny of it that we get that is donated through our Extra Life efforts goes right here to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. What's this? Is there something? Oh, could that be? That would be coming right from there. I have no idea. It's sort of. fading away. Just saw a little blob right there. I'm not sure what that blob was. Anyway, I got distracted. Yes, 100%. Every single penny that is raised through our Extra Life Gaming efforts goes to the hospital, goes to helping sick kids get better, goes to help make their lives better. Ultimately, it goes to save their lives. It really does genuinely help the kids and help the hospital. Even $1 can make the difference, and that's all we ask for our 100 Days of Gaming videos. Whether you're watching, this series, this year's series of 100 Days of Gaming games, our top 10 lists for 2020, or watching our previous 4 years, what did we start, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. If you just happen to be watching any of those as well, you can still make a donation. Just $1 is all it takes for any one of these 100 Days of Gaming videos. Figure if we have 500, after 5 years is all wrapped up here, our 5th year, and we're actually I'm probably going to retire after this year. We retired our 24-hour marathon after last year's marathon, our 7th marathon, just because my body just can't do it, and it's just it got to the point to where there was so much I wanted to be able to do for it, and so many games I wanted to be able to play during that marathon. It would turn into a 48-hour marathon. It still wouldn't give me enough time. So I figure at the end of the day, for my health, and just for how I want to do my Extra Life fundraising going forward, the marathon just doesn't work anymore. And same thing for 100 Days of Gaming. I've enjoyed doing it for these 5 years, and but it's time to retire, and I'm glad I was able to do it this year. The 5th year, and do this special. I was hoping to be able to do this. I've been playing this actually since last year. What I would do for the 5th year, how I would do it, and I've had it in my head of doing 10 top 10s, and it was initially, to do it. I was going to initially do it like 75, top 25. I was going to do my top 25 favorite games that I played for 100 Days of Gaming, and then do 75 games I've never played before, like I did, the previous 2 years of making 100 different games I never played before for 2018 and 2019. But then as I thought about it more, it's like, well, how would I narrow it down to 25? There's so many games that I've played for 100 Days of Gaming that I really like, and just the ones outside of that I've just played it for normal, like the Guild Wars games and everything else. That I still enjoy. There's more than 25 of those that I actually have enjoyed over the last 30 years. So, that's how it started, and it eventually evolved into this. I said, this really works, because then I can get more games in there, and I don't have to, and I can take it a little bit more easier, because I'm not going to do the 100 consecutive days. I'm going to start earlier, which was good, because I was really, once I got the lists set up, and not quite finalized, because some of them, they've undergone changes since June when we started. A couple of these have undergone changes where one game fell off, one game was put on the list, or the ordering. I decided to change the ordering because the more I thought about it, stuff like that. But yeah, it's I think this is a fitting close to the 100 Days of Gaming challenge, and next year we're gonna try new stuff. Keep it fresh, and hopefully keep it exciting, and hopefully keep the fundraising money coming in. Which again, getting back to, you can donate safely, securely, and anonymously. You can just click one of those big old Extra Life banners down below the live stream window, or of course, you can check out the video description after we highlight this stream on Twitch and upload it on YouTube for our Extra Life participant link. Like I said, donate safely, securely, and anonymously, and you can be a real life hero for the kids of CHOP, and of course their families, because it really does relieve a lot of pressure off the entire family as well, the money that is received by the hospital through our Extra Life Gaming efforts. $302 in. Let's keep it going. Let's see if we can hit $325 before we wrap up 100 Days of Gaming this year. If we can get $23 more in before we wrap up 100 Days of Gaming, we've only got 3 more lists to go. We've got 3.5 lists to wrap up here. We've got the top half of our top 10 simulation games right now. Number 5, Farm Sim 19. But then we have our top 10 action adventure games, our top 10 arcade and console games. I can't believe I forgot what the other one is already. Our top 10 strategy games. That's what it is. My mind is going. Top 10 strategy games, our top 10 action adventure games, and of course the combination final list that we'll be doing next month, our top 10 favorite console and arcade games as well. And got some work to do on that one. That one's not, that one's finalized as in the terms of the games that are going to be on there. But it's not finalized on how we're going to get as many of those games playable here on stream that we can. So we'll be working on that, of course, this month to get it all set and ready. And hopefully everything works out to where we can feature every game that is on the list. In the meantime, let's get cracking with our Farm Sim 19 gameplay here, eh? Because that's what we're here to do too. Not only raise money, but have fun raising that money. Boom. All right, let's see. It is dark. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, so we'll be getting daylight soon. I think it's going to be contracts, because I don't think our field's are ready yet. So we're way down here. We only have 2 fields. I don't think we have to do anything to them. So what are we growing? We are growing, I believe, soybeans here, and I believe we are growing wheat. Yes, we are growing wheat on this one. Let's see how the growth is doing. This one is growing. Martin, if only you played on Xbox. Yeah, I do. I have the 360, but I don't have. That's it. I don't. You know, I have right now 3 consoles at work. Oh no, I forgot to ask my mom if we still have the television somewhere. Dang it! I knew I was going to forget to do that because she was over here for Abby's birthday party yesterday too. I'll have to write myself a note because I'm curious to see if we still have our own television. But yeah, I have 3 consoles. The original Nintendo, the original Super Nintendo, and the original Xbox 360. Well, I guess it's not original because the regular old Xbox was the original. The 360 was the second one. But you play it on Xbox One? Yeah, see, I don't. Yeah, and the only reason I have the Xbox 360 is because I actually won that through a tech online tech seminar I had attended when I was working for a tech company a few years back, and it was a Microsoft seminar. Microsoft was hosting it for, I forget what they were promoting or whatever and talking about now. I don't remember, but at the end of, like, they host these seminars like once a month or once every couple of months. Microsoft does, to promote, whatever, new Windows application or whatever it is, PowerShell or whatever thing it is that they're doing, and they want all the tech, the techies, the tech support people to dig more into and learn about and implement in their scenarios and stuff like that. And so at the end of every one of these, they would give away something, and at that time they were giving away Xbox 360s, and somehow I won one during this seminar, and that's the only reason I got the Xbox 360. But yeah, consoles just to me aren't worth the money because they're expensive. They're limited with the number of games you could play. Because after I won the Xbox, we do have the Wii. We do have the original Wii as well. But just looking at and comparative to the games that we were able to get with the Intellivision and the Nintendo systems and even the Wii system, the games we were able to get with them compared to what was available for the Xbox 360, which at the time was still a relevant console when I won it. It was just like there is absolutely nothing. I think maybe 1 or 2 games I wanted. We ended up picking up Zoo Tycoon for it. And that turned out to be a super disappointment because it is so limited on what you can do in the game, or how big you can build your zoo in the game. It's like, what was the point? So yeah, to me, consoles just aren't worth the money anymore because like for instance, PlayStation. The only reason I would have gotten a PlayStation 3 years ago was to play Horizon Zero Dawn. So to get one game would have cost me $600. It's like, well, it wasn't worth it. It's like, I would love to play Horizon Zero Dawn, but paying $600 just to be able to play it would not be worth it. And as it turns out, we can play it now anyway because it's on PC, which is nice. But completely unexpected and nice. But yeah, to me, consoles aren't worth it anymore. It's PC gaming. PC gaming is cheaper, and you've got a lot more variety you can get in with it at the end of the day. And you get a lot better systems. You got a lot better graphics for the money at the end of the day. Between, well, really, let's see, I've got Wild Tangent, I've got, like Blizzard.net, and, all the individual gaming apps, game launchers. But if you figure you just go for the generic ones like Steam and Epic, the Epic Game Store, and Wild Tangent, between those two, I've got probably about almost 400 games. And I've probably only paid for maybe 75% of those games. And for that 75% that I paid, I've paid some kind of money out to probably only about 5% of them I actually paid full price for. Everything else I either got for free or at a steep discount through Steam and Epic game sales and coupons and just getting key codes from devs and that kind of stuff. So out of 400 games, because I looked at my Steam thing. Hey, Battery, what's up, Battery? My Steam transactions at one point, because I had seen an article in PC Mag or PC Gamer Online about it, or something about it, about how much somebody had spent on Steam games, and looking at your Steam game things, I said, wow, mine's got to be way up there. And then when I looked at it, I said, wow, that's surprisingly very, very little for all the games I actually have in my library, because like I said, most of them were either I got for free or got at such like a steep discount, it was practically free. So yeah, PC gaming is just still above and beyond way better than console gaming in terms of cost and availability of what you can play on it. Now, where was I? Oh yes, I got to write myself a note about the Intellivision, because if we still have that would be absolutely incredible. Television. So I gotta write myself a note, and of course throw that right on top of renew my driver's license, because I gotta get that renewed in the next 2 weeks. Yep, for a bit. Nice to see Farming Up and Adam. Yes, indeed. Yeah, doing a little bit of farming today. All right, so this is growing. I don't think we are at the third stage because it's not orange. Yeah, so it's not up. There it is. Okay, so there's 2 stages. The other 2 stages there. Yeah, so we're just in the first stage there. So I'll be ready to harvest. So we're going to be taking some contracts here today. Let me see. Soil composition. We need to fertilize. Okay, we got a weed. Aha! I don't know if we have a weeder. I have to see if we have a weeder. I don't believe we have a weeder, so I'm going to have to pick that up. And I'm going to have to fertilize too. So let's see what we got. So we'll do that first. I have a fertilizer somewhere, I think. Or I might have the combo. I don't. There's my harvesters, my tipper, liquid herbicide on that. Oh, really? Oh, okay. This is that should be our sowing machine. There's our other tipper. We got two. Here's our fertilizer. Here it is. Okay. There's our foraging wagon. We got that. I don't have enough for a shed yet. I will eventually. Well, it's like, I got to buy more. There's our plow. What is this? Seed? I think that's. Oh no. Okay, is that lime? I forget. Yeah, I do have fertilizer, so we'll go for fertilizer. I gotta buy a weeder though. So let's get in here. Yeah, I don't have a shed yet because I don't. Yeah, we're over here. I'd want to go. I want to go over here with it because I really don't. There's nothing. I guess I could throw some sheds and stuff up here if I do. a bit of work. But yeah, I'm saving the sheds because they're not super necessary yet. I do have I have quite a bit of mods actually. I just don't have them up on I don't have them up on this save game here. Let's see. I think some of this fertilizer over here. I know, seasons. I know, right? I gotta play more though. I don't play this one nearly as much as I would like to, but hopefully. Hopefully sooner rather than later, which is pretty much my favorite saying here. No, this is fertilizer here. Yep, okay. Alright, that takes care of that. I think those were sitting there because I had that in a contract vehicle, so I had to empty it before I completed the contract so I wouldn't lose all the fertilizer. No, okay, so I think that's lime. I think that's actually a bag of lime if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so let's get over here. So I'm probably going to need more fertilizer. Do I even have any? No, it doesn't look like it's showing anything at this store, but I don't know if the bags actually show up or not. I don't know what I got sitting at the store. I might have more bags of something out there. Actually, yeah, this should cover it here. Oh, for God's sakes, are you serious? You have access to this land. If I have access to this land, it's my damn field. I think I'm missing the edge over there. Yeah, I actually gotta get more into this thing. That way I can get used to all the different things and start getting used to what vehicle is what and stuff like that. Because Taz gave me his save game, and I loaded that up one day, and he's got so much stuff on there. It's like I tried doing stuff on there. It's like I don't know what equipment is what. So it's like I could barely play because I didn't know what he had, where it was parked, what it looked like. It's gotten to the point to where this version is almost too complex for me right now. Are you freaking serious? No, wait. Yes. Field 20. Why is that not showing as fertilized? Oh, probably because I need to weed it. That's why. Suffering succotash. So let me weed it then. Because I'm sure I've got to... do another pass or two here as I miss something. So let's just leave that there. Let's go get a weeder. I've actually been doing Pure Farming 2018 more than I've been doing this one. I'm going to I think I'm gonna, because I actually want to get, I want to do, you know, I've been doing Farm Sim 15 on my own time, so to speak. I haven't been streaming that one, but I've been playing. I was playing that quite a bit in my free time, what little free time I had. But, you know, I was streaming Farm Sim 17 before I got this one. Yeah, see, I do have a bag. Oh, I got a couple bags over here. These are bags of seeds, aren't they? Yeah. That seed. I guess I'm going to have to pick that stuff up too then, huh? Alright, let's get these out of the way, because whatever I purchase is going to pop up right there. And I've only been doing this one primarily on the multiplayer map, which you know, this is my multiplayer game save here. There we go. All right, so I need a weeder. What would that be under? Would be any of those? Would be under mowers or miscellaneous? Oh, you know what? It'd probably be under there. Right. Weeders. Yep, here we go. Yeah, I keep forgetting. I'm so used to like the 15 store where it's just all listed under one section. Because I think does 17 even break it down? I don't remember if 17 even breaks it down into the different tabs up here. All right. 15, it's 12. This is 9. So it looks like this holds fertilizer too, huh? Oh, this is probably the sprayer. That's probably what this is. It's a sprayer, isn't it? I guess I might as well go for the big boy. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, mine as well. Never back up right. It's mechanical weed removers, not sprayers. Yeah, that's right. The first one looked like it was a sprayer, and then this one, this is the mechanical one, which is fine because it's the biggest one. So that's all. I want whichever one the biggest one is. hello, sorry. My bad. I hope I'm going the right way now. Okie dokie. Ugh. Alright, let's see what we got here. There we go, nice and wide. Yeah. Oh, can I get past that? There we go. Get over here, let's do some weeding. Missing the edge there, which I figured I would. Which is why I wanted to overlap off the field on that side, so I wouldn't have to repass that side. Assuming I don't have to turn it on. There's nothing to turn on, right? Right, okay. Find out soon enough, right? There's nothing to turn on. Still looks like there's weeds in there, though. Still see. Yeah, I can still see green in there. So what am I doing wrong here then? You know what? This is in harvest mode, isn't it? I can only weed during growth mode. I think that's what it is. Yeah, because this is the field that shows ready to harvest. So I'm not gonna be able to weed here. I have to do my other field. There we go, thank you. Wondering why I was going so slow. So we got a weed over here. So we'll just have to go for, maybe it doesn't need fertilizing there. I thought I had these things all fertilized up. These freaking bushes, I wish we could get rid of them without having to do terraforming, which is bull in a china shop sometimes. Okay, here we go. No, we just managed to be able to swing that around. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. And it is fertilized. Okay, good. Shoot. So I'm not going to be able to weed that one. Alright, well, ain't not much we can do about it. Just gonna miss the outside strip, aren't we? I thought they were fertilized. Yes, that's definitely fertilized there. So wasted a bit of fertilizer. That's okay. We'll survive. mean, I think I got contracts active actually. The last time I was in here. I have to go see. So that's why I missed the weeding because I was taking so much time up with contracts. Do I don't have equipment floating out anywhere else now. Let me see here. Nope. Okay, I don't have anything yet because I've been taking multiple ones that require the same thing, like harvesting. We got cultivating. Yeah, we got a handful that require cultivating. So take those, and then what I end up doing is renting out the equipment for the one that is the biggest, that provides the largest size equipment, and then just use that equipment on all the fields. That actually works pretty nicely. Okay, so all right, good. Don't have to worry about that. What fool that I am. Let's see here. So we got that strip there. We got bits and pieces there. Okay. It's right down this way, right? Oh, almost. A little bit further on here. There we go. Yep, spot on there. I gotta shift over to the right here, left here. Yep, we should get it going that way. Yep, perfect. That way. And is your marathon's in 2 weeks, isn't it, Battery? I think, what is that, the 24th and 25th, right? So I marked that on my schedule. That way I would remember not to schedule too many streams for myself there. Three weeks. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So, yeah. 24th and 25th would be 3 weeks. Yeah. And Aerodash just did his yesterday into this morning. Was able to swing by for about 5 minutes. So we had Abby's birthday party yesterday. Well, I had to work, come home, do Abby's birthday party. So it's like no rest for me yesterday. And still do my stream last night for number 6. Yep, so good. This will take care of everything there, so we're good. He baked in after about 17 hours. Oh, really? Ah. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot how long he had been going by the time I stopped in yesterday afternoon. At least I was able to throw him a couple of hosts anyway. So, damn, can't weed. Damn it. There's nothing we can do about that either, can we? Except harvest early, which I don't really want to do. Alright, well, it is what it is. I can't do anything there, so no point wasting more fertilizer either. just hate all these damn bushes. And the mower doesn't kill them. You have to use the terraforming to kill them. So that there, we'll go up, grab the fertilizer. For God's sakes. I gotta get into American truck so I can get the new West Star. Haven't even done that yet. I think, when do I have that? I think am I doing that tomorrow? I think I got a stream planned tomorrow for that. Hours on day 1, 9 hours on day 2. Nice. Yeah, that's really the way to do it anymore, I think. So I said, it's, doing that. What did I end up doing? Almost 27 hours, I think, last year. It was fun doing it, but man, it was just, it was rough. It was rough. I really wish I could have gone on longer, but it's just got to the point where it's like, yeah. I can't anymore. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you got a nice nice lineup there. So that'll be fun. Okay, so let me see here. I guess we'll just do the contracts. So I can't do anything else in my fields here. Just gotta wait for that one to hit orange, and then we'll harvest it. I don't like that there's grass on that one. It's a pain in the ass. All right, yeah, I think I had that. I think I had that planned in on that day. I think, what was that, Saturday? Yeah, so I think I put out a block of time to do like a co-stream when you were doing Call of the Wild. Yeah, I think that's what I got it blocked out for. Do a couple hours, like 6 to 8. I'll eat dinner. I'll get dinner early that day. Although I'm working, but I get home early enough to not have to worry about that too much. All right, let's just let's leave this thing down here. Red, green. Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome if we could do that too. Yeah. I'll just pull this thing right in here. Okay. All right, let's look at these contracts. We're going to do some contracts now for pretty much for the rest of the day, because I can't. That's it. All I can do on my fields until that one is completely ready to harvest. At least we got a weeder, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. It's funny how the overlap works into some of these things. 9 p.m. Yeah, I saw that. Elite Dangerous. Yeah, so I definitely want to see that too. Because I don't think I've even seen like a lot of gameplay of the game. So that'll be nice to see. All right, let's see what contracts we got here. There's something that's removed tops, isn't there? Harvesting. It'll be one of these harvesting ones. I think what I want to do is cultivating, because that ought to be quick and easy. So we got field 23, field 12. All right, 12, 23, 26, 7. So 7, 12, 23, and 26. 7, 12, 23, and 26. Okay. So 7 or 12 will offer the biggest equipment. Let's see here. 7 and 12. I think 12 actually had, yeah, I think 12 might be the big one. I love how he's going to pay less than $3,000, but charge almost $1,200 for the rental. Which is why I do do these missions all together. See, none of the cultivating really pays. This is even worse. Almost $2,000, and he's less than $5,000. So almost half of what he's paying, he takes back in the rental fee. For Christ's sakes! All right, so we're going to accept that one. We'll use the Field 12 equipment. Cultivating. 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 All right, let's see here. Sowing, harvesting, spraying, harvesting, baling, harvesting. Oh, there's a couple of spraying, so maybe I'll do those next. Harvesting, and cultivating. What we want to do here is borrow items. Okay. So we're good there, so we'll borrow that and then knock out these 4 fields. So let's go, actually I gotta do here. Let's visit the shop. Let's see, where's the equipment at? Put the brights on here, that way I can see what I'm doing. We got about another hour and a half before sunrise. Okay. We'll go bang those smaller fields out first. Be like one pass with this thing, the smaller fields will be done. Eek. Oh my goodness. Oh, I actually slept until 6:30 today, which is a shock. Although I was, as usual, back and forth between sleep. Ooh, just flip over there. All right, so how do I want to do this? I probably just to see where making my turn would be easier. If I do it. North-south here instead of east-west, because that retaining wall over there will make it harder to turn. Yeah, I definitely don't have a lot of room there, so we're going to do it that way. back it up a little straight here. There we go. Okay, let's drop it. And rock it. Drop and rock. God, I find just the turning on this is on this version in particular is just so weird. It's just slightly different from 15 and 17. I can't quite control and trying to turn and stuff here. Going to get a couple things done. Hope I have enough to stream. You know, well, like I said on Twitter, you know, you can't, don't push yourself, you know. And with everything else going on, or that has gone on, I guess I should say. Oh yeah, but you gotta have the right mental state too, you know. If you feel like you're forcing yourself, it's still not going to be good. It's better not to stream and then to force yourself to stream and just not have a good stream at all, you know? Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, that mental state don't go away for quite some time. I'm finding that out. I'm definitely finding that out. God damn, we just... Oh, the physical issues? Yeah. Oh, see that too. I mean, that wears on you, you know? It's like I remember when I had my ear infection and I tried streaming. It's like, I can't do it. You can't do it. Can't focus on it with this pain I'm feeling, you know. So I ended up just like I ended up not streaming until I got it fixed anyway. Oh, excuse me. Don't know whether this is allergies or I'm trying to fight off a cold here. It doesn't feel like a cold, so I think it's allergies. Another game, still got that 3-hour hold on. Oh, for the marathon? Alright. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll have to take a look at your list again and see. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'll have to see. See what the lineup looks like again, and let's see if we can't do something interesting. Oh my God! There we go. See this? See what I think it is that the vehicles don't reset back to straight as quickly as they do in 15 and 17. And that's what throws me off. Because then I try to overcompensate because it's not turning, and then it just turns too much in the other direction. See, like that. There, it turned too much in the other direction. Now if I straighten it out, there we go. Of course, if I had a steering wheel, it probably wouldn't be as much of an issue for going from one game to the other for any of them. So I really should be straightening this out now. Well, at any rate, you take care, battery, and I will see you again soon. Hopefully I can stop by. Sundays are weird for me because every time I say, okay, yeah, battery's going to be streaming on the sun, do your normal stream, and then it's like, okay, it's, perfect. I can stop by and watch, and then it's I always end up having to get involved with something around the house, and then I can never. And it completely slips my mind by the time I remember, it's, you're already done. It's like, God dang it, it just drives me nuts. Because it's the one day where I could reliably just sit and watch a stream. And it's always something else that's going on. There we go. Okay, we finished that up. Might as well just go ahead and knock the rest of that strip out. We'll be done there. Get on over to 26. Oh, that's the flag. Where's the field? There it is. With my lights on, it seems like it gets darker around. Alright, this done. Yeah, I know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Boy, a bit of an incline here. Come on, turn. Oh, man, this is so relaxing. It's nice, nice, nice. I gotta throw the radio on. Especially when we're doing these bigger fields here. So, I think I gotta turn it on through the menu first. Alright, that wraps that up. Now we got the big boys. It doesn't really matter which one I do first, because... Or does it? I know I still have the equipment if I finish the field without accepting payment for the contract. I don't remember if that affects anything else if I finish the field for which I borrowed the equipment. Turn. Just a reminder, everyone, as we enter our second hour here of farming for Farm Sim 19, we are raising money for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. 100% of our Extra Life fundraising efforts goes to helping sick kids get better at the hospital. Donate safely, securely, and anonymously. Just click on those big old Extra Life banners down below the live stream window. Or, of course, if you are watching this as a highlight or rerun on Twitch or an upload on YouTube, check the video description for that participants link. Oh, come on, matey. Oh, yep, I wanted to go up there, didn't I? Either way. All right, let's back it up here. Corn? I think that's corn. I know I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Unless, of course, this is technically England. What is Raven Point? I think Raven Point is U.S. I think this is supposed to be a United States map. I think is there a map? There might be a map mod on England, if I'm not mistaken. Or a map that, or an official map that's on England. I don't remember. Oh my God. Wish it was a little bit brighter out here. I could see where the edge of this field was before I got my headlights here. I'm trying to reverse with a trailer. It's crazy here. There it is. Okay, let's get over here. I'll get lined up. There we go. Okay. I want to do something real quick here. Ugh. Right, Sunday, 1 p.m. Okay. Ugh, my eyes. Ugh. Just want to print out Battery's marathon schedule here. Yeah, dang ya. Copy it. Let's just copy it because that's not working too well. There we go. All right. Through the notepad file here. Wait, don't forget about it. American Truck, Planet Zoo, Pumpkin Days, Call the Wild, Elite Dangerous, Farm Sim 19, and Euro Truck 2. Alright. See what we can flip in there. See what we can put in there. Oh, for Christ's sakes. All right, now let's go. I know I wanted to do too. I forgot to do. 5 is radio. Okay. What radio channels though? There we go. No, I don't want online streams because those are actual. Sounds like Zoo Tycoon. Actually does sound like Zoo Tycoon, one of the Zoo Tycoon 2 themes. With this field, it is got this round part over here. Yeah, it's all good. You do. Yeah, I got no stories left to tell today. wondering if there's a bigger cultivator here to make this field go a lot quicker. This is where multiplayer would come in handy, because you just grab another 1 or 2 people with cultivators and just all work the field together, get it done quicker. I'm not going to sit behind a tractor. There we go. Now we're behind. Now we're sitting behind it. Per Lungvist. Alright, that's enough of that. I only kept that one on because it sounded like Zoo Tycoon. Oh my god, here we go with the... There we go, okay. Curious now. I got to see if this is an actual song. What was that? Bradley Bargain Hunters? Oh, for Christ's sakes, would you? Bill Bradley, I think it was. Bargain Hunter board game, really? 1981 Milton Bradley board game, really? Bob Bradley. Oh, okay. So yeah, it looks like this is all just all music composed for the game specifically. We'll see if it ends up flowing up any YouTube flags. It'll be very interesting to see. Oh, damn it. This is the part where the game starts getting, yeah, where it does get grindy. Like the XP grind of wizardry in days of old. When you hit these big fields. I gotta turn that down, hold on. Where's our audio settings? Volume, here we go. Vehicle, radio volume. There we go. Wow, that still comes up loud. Just need something in the background here. There we go. I think that might be a little better. And take it down one more percentage point. We'll hit the wait for the. Okay, yeah. So this is the louder part of the song. I think that'll do. It's the one problem I've had with my new system here is just judging the volume output, because I can't get anything through the headphones here. With my old Windows 7 machine here, I was able to get a, you know, hear the voice. You know, you can hear the playback of the voice and stuff through it. So it's much easier to judge volume levels. But doing it on and even on other Windows 7 machines, I think. Actually, I guess it was Windows 10 machine. Well, doing it on any other machines. I know I tried a couple of other machines. I forget whether they're. I think one was at least a Windows 7. I couldn't do it. For some reason, it only worked on the laptop, and I don't know why. Because everything else, it actually sounds like an echo. It sounds like it's just an echo in my head, in the headphones. Which makes it a distraction instead of a help. I can't figure out what the difference is, even when I check all the sound settings and stuff on the different machines, and they all look equal. It's not. So it's something else somewhere buried in a Windows setting, I imagine, that I'm not gonna waste time digging through, because ultimately it doesn't matter. Because right now I can't hear my voice through here. I can only hear the game sound, the desktop sounds, which is the game sound. And of course the volume levels on the cans are different than what comes across OBS, so that makes it harder as well. To judge what all these volume levels are. I think this is the bigger of the two fields anyway, so that helps. Just to get that Cook Serve Delicious 2 vibe to it. Oh man, I can't believe it's October already. It's like August and September just flew by. I remember we went on vacation in August, and I had my last ear appointment, I think the week before vacation, and I was going to make another appointment to look into getting evaluated for a hearing aid for this ear until I could figure out what I'm going to do about it. I said, well, I can do that the Monday of vacation, because we're all for not, I don't know how much streaming I'm going to be able to do, and then just never did it, and here we are like a month and a half later. And yeah, it ain't happening. And I actually do have a recheck on this ear at the regular doctor's next month on the 9th. So that Monday is going to be shot for streaming, because that, again, I got to go down to Philly for that. See, hopefully it's healing on its own. That's the best case scenario. Although I haven't noticed any changes with it ever since my infection went away. So somehow I doubt it is, but Because when I was there in August at the Philadelphia location, you know, she was explaining what the surgery would be involved to patch it. I'm like, oh no. I was hoping it'd be, you know, not a simple procedure, but a less invasive procedure. Let's put it that way. And so she's describing exactly what she'll have to do for the surgery, and then, you know, the post-surgery stuff. And it's like, oh Christ, it's like that's the last thing I really want to have to put myself through right now. So it's like I'm hoping somehow it's like healing slowly but surely on its own. So they said it can do that. That the tympanic membrane, which I guess is the official word for the eardrum. I mean, if you got a hole in it, it will eventually patch itself, or at least make the attempt, I guess, depending on other circumstances, of course. But somehow I doubt I'm going to be that fortunate. So it's either live with it, and of course if I get a hearing aid, and the hearing aid seems to compensate for the hearing loss, and it might end up being what I end up doing is just dealing with it and deal with it and compensate with the hearing aid. Because I think at the end of the day, either option will be expensive. Well, insurance will help cover part of it, which is why I actually have to go to a different place to get the hearing aid evaluation, because my regular enterologist, I think that's whether enterology, the enterologist I started going to after my primary care referred me there, after the infection was all gone, and she had seen that I had, a couple of holes in my eardrum. She referred me to this place. The otologist doesn't take the insurance for the hearing aids. Of course, again, American insurance, the way it friggin' works. They're out of network in terms of dealing with hearing aids, so I have to go to this other place which is in network. So it's like, oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass. And of course we're finding that out for both Aaron and Abby as well, because Abby has issues with her eyes. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, because my wife had taken her to get evaluated at this place that our regular eye doctor referred us to, who again is out of network because they're holistic. And they've actually dropped out of network. So it's a 6-month program she has to go through to get her eyes to function properly, and it's going to be almost $5,000 this entire program. It's like, Jesus Christ, and no insurance on that, so that's all out of pocket. But the thing is, it's like when we checked with our insurance carrier, they're still listed as in-network, and I called them last Monday just to see what the deal was. And so he ended up calling the office and talking to them, and what it is that they were dropping out of network. Yeah, it's the alternative medicine. So that's why they're out of network, because she doesn't... It's... Because it's not a medicinal therapy that they do. It's like a physical therapy for the eye almost. So since they don't deal with pharmaceutical companies, all of a sudden they're holistic. And of course the insurance company doesn't want to deal with it because, all the all the backdoor dealing that the pharmaceuticals, doctor offices, and the insurance companies do with each other. But the thing is, they're still currently listed with my health carrier as in network. So the guy, the rep, the customer service rep I had talked to last week, said that, it's because I asked them, it's like, well, if they're still technically in network according to the insurance company, can we submit the claim ourselves? Because the office won't submit the claim because they dropped out, and the healthcare, it just didn't update in our healthcare insurance database. So according to the healthcare insurance, they're still technically part of the network. So I asked the rep, it's like, well, could we then submit the claim ourselves, since technically they're still in network, and see if we can get reimbursed? He said, yeah, you could try. He said, because at this point we got nothing to lose. We'll either, if we get reimbursed for it, that's the best case scenario, because they're still technically in network, even though they're not. According to the insurance company, the insurance company considers them still in network. So, but we would just have to do all the submissions ourselves and hope everything goes through before the database gets updated and they drop out of network. Which at that point we would have to pay the out of network costs, which basically is the deductible we have for out of network is right around what the actual therapy costs, so it's a wash. But at least at this rate, we might be able to submit it and get reimbursed for it out of whatever our current deductible is, which is, of course, obviously nowhere near, almost $5,000. Now, it's nothing like that. They're actually kind of reputable. But like I said, it's not voodoo medicine. Let me put it that way. If it was voodoo medicine, I would say forget it and try to find something else. But it's the way her eyes don't function. Obviously hearing this, hearing this from my wife, who heard it from the doctor on how it worked. You lose stuff in translation when it's all medical terminology. When you have to translate it twice. But her eyes apparently don't function well together. And and the doctor was telling my wife, the details of it, and they put her through tests to see, how her eyes were functioning. And just how bad they were, and apparently they're pretty bad. And as the doctor's describing, how what this is to my wife started noticing. Okay, this is why Abby actually does certain things that she does, is because she's trying to compensate for her eyes not working properly. Good at disguising his revenue stuff. Think about the chiropractic and the homeopathy, for example. But still some of these. It's at this point I don't know. I don't know what to do, because like the regular eye doctor said he can't even prescribe eyeglasses for her, because it's not going to help with the way her eyes don't function properly, and without treatment. It doesn't exactly lead to lazy eye, but it leads to other stuff. She has lead to problems with depth. In fact, I just saw when I was at work yesterday, there was a TV show on called Lucky Pup, I think. And the premise of the show is to this guy matches shelter dogs with people to find them homes with these people. But the thing that actually got my attention was that this one teenage girl that he was matching a seeing eye dog with had an issue with her eyes when she was born. She had a problem with her eyes where she was born, where she would, she didn't have good depth perception and that kind of stuff. And so it's like the way my wife was trying to describe what was wrong with Abby's eyes. That made me perk up and say, okay, this is probably what Abby will lead to if we don't get her eyes fixed, where she'll actually have serious issues with depth perception and stuff. So at this point, you know, I don't know if it comes out where it works, it works. But yeah, she'll like bang into walls and stuff, and like just being able to read and see things on the computer screen. We notice she does different things to compensate, and the way she just turns her head instead of moving her eyes are symptoms of whatever this thing is. It's like, I'm saying to myself when my wife was first telling me this, is like, we can't catch a break with either of the kids, you know. They always have these freaking issues with them. They just can't be. They can't catch a break to where, you know, they don't get through something without having some sort of freaking issue. For both of them, which, you know, breaks my heart. You know, it's because you don't want to see your kids have to deal with this kind of nonsense. And it's like, you know, when are we going to catch a break at the end of the day and just say, you know what, hey guys, guess what, you're normal for a change. But my wife also looked into getting therapy sessions for my daughter because she's got like severe social anxiety, and she actually looked it up. Erin actually looked up, you know, her symptoms. She self-diagnosed herself essentially, and found, I forgot what she called it, what the actual, you know, phobia or whatever it is. But she said it's like all the stuff she's been feeling the last couple of years and dealing with, and how she perceives the world. She's like, every single thing she's feeling is symptoms of whatever this phobia thing is. So, you know, my wife looked up and actually through our health insurance, which is through my job, we get it through my job. They actually, so it's through the job, but it's part of the health insurance. It's like they have these online therapy sessions where she can actually talk to an actual therapist. So, and I forget how long that was. I think it was like eight weeks of online therapy sessions. So we're gonna set that up for Erin, and hopefully that'll help her out. And go from there. But yeah, this thing with Abby right now, like the holistic place gave us a website we can go to where we can actually do at-home sessions. Because the way it works is for 6 months we've got to go to the office once a week for sessions, and for them to see how her eyes are progressing as we do these online therapy sessions every day, which we've been terrible at doing right now, for God's sakes. Which I guess I better get on doing this for Abby. I guess I better do that after I wrap up today's stream. Get her on there and do that with her for half an hour. But it's essentially they have to train her eyes, is what it is. They have to do this physical therapy to train her eyes to work together. So we'll see how that goes. But it's always something, you know, it's always something. We can't catch a break. I'm trying now too with our stray cats, at least. My own therapy right now is helping the 5 feral cats we got in the neighborhood. Well, yeah, for a mental break, you know. This is my mental therapy right here, doing gaming and doing streams. And playing with the feral cats, trying to get them set up for the winter. Which reminds me, I got to set up the turtles terrarium It's getting cold out at night too, so I'm going to have to bring her into the house this week. I got to get the terrarium cleaned out and set up for her, so I'll be doing that today and tomorrow. But I'm trying the one feral cat we call Tiger, which I put up the video. I don't know if you saw the video on YouTube of Tiger. Then I've got another video of Patch and Scruff. I still got to get videos of Tux and Midnight, but I don't see them quite as often, and they're not quite as friendly as Tiger. They're not as, I shouldn't say they're, Midnight is actually kind of friendly, but not quite trusting. Like Midnight will come up and let me pet him, but then he'll come up for a pet, then he'll just go off and do his own thing. He's friendly, but not quite trusting, and Tux is not trusting at all. But I finally gotten, Patch and Scruff aren't trusting either. But I've gotten to the point to where I was with Tiger a couple of months ago, to where they'll come up and eat with me sitting there. But the problem is I haven't seen them. I've seen them, but not at the point to where I can actually go out there and sit out there and talk to them while they're eating, which is the problem. So it's harder to be able to work on getting them to trust me than it was with Tiger. Tiger's was around a lot. He comes around a lot. He's always come around. Let me put it this way: he's always come around a lot more. So I had more opportunity to sit out there with him and get him used to me. To the point now to where he's essentially a house cat who's a feral, because he's always out in the mornings now. He's always out. He'll always be coming and going throughout the day. So I'll go out there, and when he hears me come outside into the house, he'll come running from wherever he's at. He's always around, so he'll come running when he knows I'm outside. So he's sort of my pet feral cat now, and it's gotten to the point to where now he's starting to trust Abby, which is shocking beyond belief, because he'll let Abby start petting him now, and he'll actually it was actually yesterday, which was surprising. For Abby's party before the cousins came out and scared him off. He actually came up to me, was petting, and Abby, when Abby, knows Tiger's out there with me, she'll come because she wants to pet Tiger. And so sometimes he's in the mood, sometimes he's not. But yesterday he actually, when I was done petting him and he started wandering around, he actually went up to Abby a couple of times on his own. So, which is good. So he's trusting Abby now, which is the big thing, because I want to try to get him in the house. And the problem is now he smells hurt. This morning when I went out to feed him, I got him up to the door, and he's come up to the door a couple of times. I've gotten where I'm sitting on the steps of our kitchen door, which is in the backyard, and he'll be there. And so he'll be around the door, and Hershey will be on the other side. So he knows Hershey's there, because he can hear her and smell her. But that's the big thing now, with Hershey there. He won't come in because Hershey I had the door open at one point. While Hershey was eating, he was coming up, and Hershey turned around and saw him and charged him. So that set him off a little bit. But I got him up this morning. I ended up locking up Hershey in one of the bedrooms. But she sprayed all over the kitchen door and the entrance mat we have there, the welcome mat that we have inside to catch the debris and stuff from coming inside. So that she's peed all over that area, marking her territory. So he can smell that as soon as he comes up to the door jamb. But I got him to get up and eat a couple of treats right there. So what I ended up doing was taking the doormat away. That way I can just clean the kitchen floor around there. Hopefully, minimize her scent. That way he'll feel more comfortable coming into the kitchen at least. So hopefully I can do that for the next couple of weeks and try to get him to feel comfortable coming inside the house. Because unfortunately, between the 5 of them, Patch and Scruff are friendly with each other. And they kind of, and between, and throwing Tiger in the mix, they kind of tolerate each other. They'll still go after each other. Tux will go after everybody. Except Midnight. Him and Midnight seem to get along. But they're not always together. But I've seen Tux go after everybody right now. And everybody go after Tux. So the problem is I got 2 shelters I built for them out there now. And each one will comfortably fit 2 of the cats. So if I can get Patch and Scruff to use the shelter, they can share a shelter. The problem is trying to get Tux and Midnight to use the shelters, and hopefully getting Midnight to tolerate somebody else, and whoever else it is to tolerate Midnight. That way they can share a shelter. But I think Tux was actually in there the other morning when I went out to feed him. I went out to feed him. I turned. I think I told this story yesterday. When I went out to feed him, I turned around to put the bowls underneath the swing set because it was drizzling a bit. So I put them under part of the swing set to where it's a little bit sheltered from a light rain and stuff, so the food won't get wet. And when I turned around, I heard something behind me take off, and it was Tux. So I'm not sure if he was just in the bushes that were there and I didn't notice him, or if he was actually inside one of the shelters, heard me and didn't, got out so he wouldn't feel trapped in there. But if at least he's using one of the shelters, that's good. But if I can get Tiger to be inside and get inside as a safe place for him, then it's just a matter of, getting Tux and Scruff to share a shelter, and then hopefully getting Midnight and Tux to share the other shelter without having to build another one, because I would have to get more insulation for it. Well, I'd actually have to get all the supplies for another shelter. But the problem is now is my wife's parents are coming in 2 weeks, and they're going to be bringing their dog with them. So that's just that's gonna cause problems with the cats. I'm just hoping it doesn't, and they're going to be out here for the better part of a week with the dog, and it's just as soon as I get everybody to start trusting me and to start understanding that our yard is a safe place to be, you can be safe from animals and bully animals and predator animals, and you can get your food here. We're going to have the dog coming in for a week to screw that all up. So I'm hoping it doesn't chase him away permanently. Because there's not going to be a lot of time to try to regain their trust after that week before it gets too cold for them out there. So that's why I'm hoping I can get Tiger to come inside the house before that happens. That way he realizes it's safe, and I can maybe keep him in the house somewhere away from the dog. I don't know. Hopefully everything will work out right. Because we're supposed to have a bad winter this year. And they really don't have a place to be able to stay around here. I don't know if any of the other neighbors have anything set up. I doubt any of the neighbors have anything else set up for them. And I don't know how far they wander, what their territory is. So there's really I don't think there's really any other safe places for them to be able to go to be sheltered from the cold. Because Tiger's a sweetheart. He is an absolute lovable. He is a lovable and loving cat. I mean, he's essentially like a house cat. He's like my old cat Willie. The Flash was friendly, but not quite friendly. Flash is a mix of Willie and Hershey. Flash was a nice cat with an attitude. He was a friendly cat with an attitude. Willie was a scaredy cat. He didn't go near any. He would run from anybody else except me. Until, of course, he got used to my wife, and then he would be fine. But she was so allergic. In fact, I was allergic to him. His fur was just you hear of, what is it, hypoallergenic animals? I call it, Willie was a hyperallergenic animal. I mean, he would set off an allergic reaction in both me and my wife like you wouldn't believe. But he was such a sweet cat. He was my baby. He was such a sweetheart. And Tiger is like that a lot now. He just wants to be pet so badly every time he sees me. He's just He just loves the affection. He's very affectionate too. It's like he'll turn over and I'll start rubbing his belly, which is usually for a cat. It creates an instinctive reaction if you touch their bellies to attack. Even house cats like Hershey, you touch her belly if she's not in heat, and she's like, oh my god, she's drawing blood. But like I do that with Tiger, and he'll have that same reaction, but he's so gentle with it. It's like he doesn't draw blood. He doesn't chomp down hard. It's just like he'll do he'll just do like a mouthing almost, where he's not doing it to attack. So I'm hoping to be able to get him into the house and get him acclimated to being indoors, because he has the ability to be able to be domesticated as much as a feral cat can be domesticated. And so I think Tiger, out of all of them, has a chance to be able to adapt to indoor life, which I'm hoping to be able to do. Because it'll be easy enough to get Hershey, because Hershey was with Flash and Willie, so it'll be easy enough to get her reacclimated to having another cat in the house. And I think if I can get Patch and Scruff to trust me enough, they might be able to do it too. And I think part of that is because they've been neutered. They were trapped and neutered. So, that actually calms them down a bit, whereas Tux and Midnight aren't neutered. They haven't been trapped. So they're actually more wild and more feral due to that than Tux, Scruff, and Tiger are, or Patch, Scruff, and Tiger are. So I'm kind of hoping to be able to get Tiger in the house, and then at least get Patch and Scruff trusting enough to be able to use the shelters over the winter, and then maybe, hopefully, if they're still around come the spring, work on getting them to trust me like Tiger trusts me now, and see if we can't get them acclimated to indoors as well. At the very least, I hope I can at least provide them with a slightly better quality of life over the winter than them trying to fend for it on their own. Hopefully, fingers crossed, at least that will go right. like I said, with the in-laws coming and the dog being here for a week, I'm just worried that's going to scare them off too much. Because we've always had stray cats and feral cats around the general area, but of course, we with having Marley for 12 years, obviously they were not going to come anywhere near the house. So I think that's why I've noticed the strays more this past year, because we haven't had Marley, so they've been around the house more. Now the one neighbor next to us has a couple of dogs, so obviously they're not going to go anywhere near there. So hopefully it doesn't set them back too much. Set the progress I've made with the cats back too much that week. Okay, she's a gentle dog, and they had a cat previously, but they had to put their cat down because he got sick. And that he got sick right around the time they were moving to Ohio, and they didn't want to put him through that, so they ended up putting him down before they moved to Ohio. But they had the cat and the dog together for a few years, but the dog's really a scaredy dog for the most part. So the dog doesn't even like going outside unless one of them's outside with her. She's a golden doodle. But, so I'm not too worried about the dog going after the cats. I'm more worried about the cats realizing that there is now the dog there and saying, okay, this is not a safe place anymore. Because, they were here last year, too, with the dog, and Hershey was having none of that. So we ended up keeping Hershey in our bedroom for that week. And I think that was after. Did they come before Marley died or after? I don't remember now. I'll have to ask her. I'll have to ask my wife, because I don't remember whether they were here before or after Marley died. I do miss that dog though too. I've been missing a lot of things this past week. The depression my depression has tried to get a hold of me the last few weeks here, so I've been feeling more sad and thinking of the sad things and the things, the people and the things I've been missing this past week more than I have lately. Yeah, I definitely been missing Willie ever since I've been bonding more with Tiger. And Hershey's just getting more ornery as she's getting older. She's just outright biting everybody else in the house. For no reason. Used to be because I thought Abby would just be annoying the heck out of her, and so she would, because Abby just doesn't know when to stop. But even Abby has settled down more over this last year, and it isn't bothering Hershey as much. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Hershey. I think it's the cats now. I think it's the ferals, because she can see them and smell them while they're outside. So I think more and more that's what's getting under Hershey's skin now, or having the ferals out there, let alone with me out there playing with Tiger. Can't really say I'm playing with any of the others aside from Midnight. When I'm lucky enough to be out there when Midnight's around and get a pet or two in on Midnight. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully everything goes well and I can get these cats protected through the winter. Her, she managed to adapt well enough, though. I don't know if she was a true feral when my brother-in-law found her at his workplace. But she was young. I think she was still, because the vet couldn't even really determine, how old she was. He said she could be 18 months or a year and 18 months is a year and a half, but said she could be, what did he say? How did he put it? She could be 8 months or 18 months or something like that. This is the way he put it, depending on whether she still had her baby teeth in. So I think she was 18 months. And she was a runt, too. I mean, she hasn't really, I don't know. It's hard to tell now because, when they're with you, you don't really notice them growing. All of a sudden they're it's like, when did they get so big? And we didn't have her when she was a tiny kitten, so she was already at least a teenage-sized cat when he brought her over. So I don't think she's gotten that much bigger, overall size-wise, from when we first had her. But she's a small cat, especially compared to the ferals. She's a tiny cat. With a big attitude. But so I don't know, how long she was out as a stray. Or if maybe she was somebody's pet and they just got rid of her because she was so ornery and just left her out to wander alone. So we don't really know. We don't really know what Hershey's story is. But she still seems to have that alley cat attitude where Flash and Flash and Willie, who we both got from shelters, never had the attitude. They were always scaredy cats when we took them to the vet. But her, she attacks. She's an attack cat when she's at the vet. In fact, one time I was there a couple years ago. One of the nurses there was saying she had a cat who was like that too. She said her cat's so bad that they actually have to sedate the cat to do an examination on him. I think it was a him. It's like they actually have to sedate him in order to do an examination because he is just so nasty. Which, thank God, we don't have to do that with Hershey. But she did tag the doctor pretty good one time she was there. Nailed him good. But yeah, I had Hershey's actually my fourth cat. I had Gandalf. Gandalf was my first cat, which my former my former fiance from 20 years ago actually gave Gandalf to me as a Valentine's Day present, because she ended up, I think it was somebody at her work or somebody she knew had found that cat, and so we're looking for somebody to just to take the cat in, and so she took him. So Gandalf was the one who turned me into cat person, because I never liked cats. My parents were never cat people, so that's why I always hated cats. Up until the point I got Gandalf. Even when I was, we were living together, she had her cat, and I just never liked the cat. until I got Gandalf, and I guess because he was my cat, and he was such a sweet cat, but he ended up getting sick and dying. I think we only had him a year, maybe 2, before he ended up getting sick, and we had to put him down. But yeah, he made me the cat person, and I was absolutely devastated when he went. But yep, Gandalf turned me into the cat person. Why am I doing this? This contract is done. Thank God this contract is done. Alright, so we don't have to finish that. That one's done. Now we gotta go do field 12. Here's the moon. Where the heck is the sun? It's 5:30. The sun should be coming up right now, not the moon. This should be here. Yep, this is it here, this field. Oh, we're next to the field. I didn't even realize how next to it I was. So which way does this go? Okay, this goes lengthwise. Alright. These big fields are killers. I was hoping we'd have some daylight by now, for crying out loud. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough time to finish this field before it's time to end the stream. I gotta go get some lunch. I actually had this slated to stream tonight, but I figured, you know what, I might as well do it now, because I wanted to put more than 2 hours into it for this particular stream, and of course streaming tonight with me. Well, I'm actually off tomorrow, but I didn't want to be up too late tonight, so I actually ended up pushing. I'm going to do Hunter Call the Wild tonight. I was hoping to actually get Horizon Zero Dawn in today, because I ended up not streaming that on Friday because I got tied up watching Justice League and then catching the end of Rudy on Friday. I was like, oh, I gotta go down the stream, but I just wanted to watch Justice League, and so I was like, okay, let me watch it, see how it is. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I know a lot of people don't like Justice League, but I actually enjoyed it. And I really don't watch any of the other DC. I haven't really watched any of the other DC movies at all. I think I've watched bits and pieces of Batman vs Superman. Trying to think. I haven't watched any of the modern. The last Supermans I watched were the Christopher Reeve Supermans. They're the ones I really watched. But yeah, that's it. Wonder Woman was the only other one, because I'm trying to think. I didn't really watch a lot. I caught bits and pieces of Green Lantern. I'm trying to think what else. I haven't watched any of the Aquaman. I've caught bits and pieces of Suicide Squad. I think would probably be one I would want to sit down and watch the whole thing. I've caught most of it between like 3 or 4 different times it was on TV. I think I've caught most of the movie now. But yeah, I kind of wanted to watch as much as Justice League as I could. I haven't seen the beginning. I keep coming. Anytime I see it on, it ends up being like the middle of the movie. But Wonder Woman would be one. I've watched Wonder Woman. I don't think. I think I haven't seen the beginning of Wonder Woman because again, it's not something I look to watch. It's like I just happen to be flipping channels and it's these movies are on. So okay, let me watch it. So I usually miss the beginning of all of these movies because it's already on. But I like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I kind of like Wonder Woman. I've always liked Wonder Woman. So the old the TV show I always used to be a fan of. Carter, Linda Carter. That's who it was as Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman has always been one of my favorite superheroes. The Iron Mans I like to watch, but as far as the Marvel ones, I've seen more of the Marvel movies than I have the DC movies. I mean, Doctor Strange is one of my personal favorites. I never really got into Doctor Strange in the comics, but I definitely wanted to watch. I definitely wanted to watch him or watch the movie. When it came out, because I guess I'm more into the magic and the mysticism now. It's like when I was into comic books, it was Iron Man. I really liked Iron Man because he was more of the anti-hero superhero, to where he was just a regular guy who just happened to be rich and smart. And built this suit that anybody, it was the I think it was part of that thing that, like, and I think I read a blog or something on it that I was doing. It's like, why is Iron Man so popular? Well, one of the things is that, well, anybody can be Iron Man. You don't have to have superpowers to be Iron Man. You could just be a regular guy and be in the suit and do heroic things. So I think maybe that's why, as a kid, I always sort of, as a teenager, I grabbed it because that's when I was really into the comics, was my teenage and early 20s. I gravitated towards Iron Man. But I always liked the ensemble comic books. I always liked the idea behind the X-Men and the Avengers. So I collected a lot of those. I was really into the Avengers. I was really trying to collect all the Avengers, and then the West Coast Avengers. And then they had, oh my God, they had like 3 or 4 different Avenger groups. So I was always trying to collect those, but I always liked the sort of the ensemble comics. And then they came out with then they started trying to develop new superheroes. So I tried collecting, getting into some of the new superheroes they had. But I think a lot of them didn't last quite as long. I got the new universe. I definitely was hoping. I definitely got into the new universe at the ground level because I wanted to. Now I liked the new universe. I liked a lot of the new universe when Marvel came out with that. I thought that was pretty good. But unfortunately, a lot of the series, the individual series in that universe didn't last, which was unfortunate because I kind of liked all of them, what they all brought to the table. And then towards the end of the run of that universe, I think it went downhill a little bit in terms of what they did with some of the stuff and changed some of the things around I didn't like too much. And then there was the new line, the 3 comics in the new line, which was Dr. Zero, the Bishop, and I forgot what the other one was. Oh, Starbrand. I think that was Starbrand. Or no, Starbrand was in the new universe. Because I like Starbrand and I like Justice. I think Justice was my favorite out of the new universe. But the other series that they had, it was three. I remember Bishop and Dr. Zero. I liked, and I forgot what they called that one. And there was one other comic in there, but I forget what it was. I gotta go look. I gotta go open up the Foot Locker and dig out my comics again just to see. But I don't think those lasted too long either, which is a shame. Yeah, it was the Silver Surfer I kind of liked too. I like the concept of the Silver Surfer. But yeah, I never really get into DC for some reason. I'm trying to think of how I first got into Marvel. I first started getting the Marvel comic books. I'm trying to think, one of my earliest comics that I got was I think a World War II comic or something. I remember my dad had picked up for me when we were at a hotel or a campground or something. I said, "Oh well, let me see this." That was one of the first comic books I got. And then when Marvel came out with the Nom, I definitely picked that up. I liked the concept of the Nom, telling the story. A good old-fashioned war comic. It was nice. It's sort of getting back to the roots of comics, I think, sometimes. But I think that's why I kind of gravitated towards the Nom, because of that World War II based comic book that my dad had got me at one point. I don't think I have that one. That was when I was when I was like 10 or 11 maybe. I'm trying to think when I first started getting comic books. I don't remember when I first started picking them up. Because I remember me and my brother always used to hit the 3 or 4 comic shops that were around our area after we really got into them and started collecting them. We'd always go hit up the comic book shops. But I don't remember how I freaking got started. I don't remember. That's weird. So I don't think it was anything that my parents gave me. I'm trying to think if they ever gave us comic books for as Christmas presents or birthday presents, and I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, I think I know what it was. It was G.I. Joe and Transformers. I think that's how we got into the comic book collecting, was through G.I. Joe and Transformers, because they both had tie-in comic books to the toys. And I think that's what it was, because when we started, collecting the toys and playing with the toys. And then Marvel came out with the tie-in comic books. We started getting those. So it was G.I. Joe and Transformers is how we started getting into comic books. So we'd go to the comic book store to get the newest issues of G.I. Joe and the Transformers, and then we'd just sit and look at look at the other ones and say, "Oh wow, this looks cool." And I think that's how it ended up getting. That's how we got started. Through G.I. Joe and the Transformers. Yep. Amazing how that stuff works. I still have all those old issues. I tried to sell some comic books on eBay years back. I think I sold a handful, but not a whole lot of them. They were tough sells for some reason, even in the good economic times. I guess because if you're going to be inclined to buy comic books, you're going to be more of the collector type, and you're going to want them graded and everything else to be sure of what you're getting. So without having them officially graded and stuff like that, when I put them up for auction, it made them tougher sells. Let's back it up here. Yes, that's how we actually got into Marvel too, because Marvel did the G.I. Joe Transformers. I like the concept of the Green Lantern though. So I've always been partial to Green Lantern. Like I said, I've always liked Wonder Woman from the TV series. Has always been a favorite of mine. All right, looks like we're almost halfway down this field, huh? Just about. This is really almost the halfway pass here. How about that? But yeah, I guess those are my stories for today, huh? Be interesting to see where DC goes, because I think Marvel hit upon a gold mine with what was it, Kevin Feige? I think set up the Marvel universe. Yeah, see, it's funny because I was never really into superheroes, and like even like with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Cinematic Universe, I'm not compelled to sit and watch the movies or go out and get all the movies and watch them. Like I said, if they're on if they happen to be on TV and I'm flipping through channels and there's nothing else that I'm really interested in watching, I'll end up sitting and watching a movie. Like I said, Doctor Strange was one I definitely wanted to see. That's been one of the few, and the Iron Man ones. Although I don't even know if I have. I think I might have Iron Man 1 on DVD. But I don't know if I have the other two on DVD. But Doctor Strange and Iron Man were the two from the movies that I definitely wanted to watch. Struggling against Fast and Furious was always weird to me. Yeah. Yeah, I think the concept of the superhero came about, I think, from World War II. I think those comics are really where they originated. Yeah, he was sort of, I don't want to say he was a minor character. Like he wasn't a character that was quite as popular as, say, the Spider-Man, the Superman, Captain America, or probably when you say superheroes, those are, the ones that immediately spring to mind from the layperson's perspective. Like I said, like I was never really followed him too much in the comics either. It was always Iron Man and sort of like the ensemble books. But for some reason, once Marvel came up with the cinematic universe was going to bring Doctor Strange into that. I was like, for some reason, I was just compelled. I got to see this movie. I didn't see it in the theaters. I waited for it to come out on DVD, but I definitely picked it up on DVDs. I wanted to see it. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But I think it was partly because it was more magic oriented instead of superhero oriented, Again, I think Doctor Strange to me is sort of along the lines of Iron Man in that the concept of Doctor Strange is that, he wasn't born with the mutant gene that the X-Men are, or he wasn't, had these superpowers he was granted through some accident or something like that. He was just an ordinary guy who learned to be able to tap into this mystical power. Like Iron Man, he's, anybody can be inside the Iron Man suit and be Iron Man and do these great things. So I think that's why, at this point, I sort of gravitate to Doctor Strange too, because, it's the concept that anybody can learn to do what Doctor Strange does. And it's magic on top of that. But yeah, I don't think he was a major. I think he played an important role. He was a big character because he had his own comic and stuff like that. He wasn't like one of the minor characters that I always liked that never really had a full had his own long time run. I think he had a limited series run. Was the Black Knight? I always liked the Black Knight. I think out of all the superhero comics, the Black Knight ended up being my favorite because, well, he was a knight with this ancient sword. But yeah, aside from Iron Man, I think like him and the Black Knight, Iron Man and the Black Knight were kind of the ones that I always were my favorites in terms of the comic books. But I think the superhero sort of generated. I don't even know what song this is here. No. There we go. We'll throw some rock in here. Came about from World War II. And of course, things like Captain America and Captain Marvel, and it was a way to to beat the Nazis and that kind of stuff is how they originated. Sort of, they started out as patriotic things to get people more patriotic, and it just took off from there. I think that's what's attractive about the superheroes is that it's a way to viscerally be able to do something. You have these great people who are able to defeat all this evil in the world and stop all this evil in the world, So it's a way for us to be able to fight that in our minds, I guess, even though we couldn't do it in real life. So we're like Extra Life. We always say, if you're a participant in Extra Life, you're a real life hero for the kids because it's actually something you can do to help the kids without being, one of those fictional superheroes. Yeah, I was never really into the superhero thing as is to where I was a fanatic of it. I mean, I just enjoyed reading the stories and that kind of stuff, but it never, like I said, it's like for the movies, it's like, I'm not compelled to get all the movies and watch all the movies, except for, like I said, the couple of instances there. But for me, it's the fact that you got these people who theoretically cannot be defeated by and they're able to stop all these evils. It's funny because when I was reading the Circle of Time, or not the Circle, the Wheel of Time books, and I can't get through them all. You know, a couple of times I started reading them. You know, it's with the first book. I had the goal that I wanted to read the entire Wheel of Time, you know, saga. So I've done this a couple of times where, okay, let me start with the first book. I'll start reading the first book, and I'll just keep going after that. But I'd always get to the third or fourth book, and I said I can't do it anymore because it was just so frustrating. Because it was, I think it was the second book he introduced the Shan-Chan, which is this enemy from one of the other continents. And what they do is they enslave the Aes Sedai, which are sort of the magic users of the world, and so they enslave these Aes Sedai and use their magic against everybody else in the continent where our hero is on. And as I'm reading through each of the books and the stories where the Shan-Chan are involved, I'm thinking it's like, I want our heroes to like just pound this enemy into the ground, you know, just ultimately just beat them and wipe them up, and it doesn't happen in the books, you know. They win some battles, they lose some battles, and that always frustrated me because it's like it's one of those enemies where you hate the enemy. And you just want to see the enemy completely defeated and wiped out, but that's not how the books are written. And so I ended up doing the last time I tried going through the series, and I got so frustrated again. It's like, oh, I can't stand it because they're not just pounding these enemies into the ground. It's like I ended up, you know, reading a synopsis of what goes on and what the future is, and it turns out they end up never beating the Shan-Chan. They end up just coming to like a stalemate with them and sort of enters into some sort of treaty or something, I think, with them. I'm like, oh well, what the hell? It's like I don't like that, so I ended up never continuing on in the stories again, because it's like, that just would frustrate me to no end, that they can't beat this enemy and just mop up the floor with them. So I'm like, oh man, because I did enjoy reading the books. I think he did. Robert Jordan, you know, wrote a great story. I am just so frustrated with it. And being a writer myself, it's like that's not. I'm reading the books and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, you know, I'm reading the books sort of with that critical eye. It's like, how would I write this? It's like, I wouldn't write it that way. Which, truth be told, my way probably wouldn't be the better way. His way is actually probably the better way because it's more real in that sense. Where my way would be more of the superhero way, to where, you know, our heroes are the superheroes and they're just, no matter who they fight, they're going to end up beating in the end, and just completely and totally defeating whoever their enemies are, which at the end of the day isn't always exciting, because then I refer back to the Voltron cartoon series, and in fact a lot of the cartoon series at that point, you know, even the G.I. Joe and Transformer cartoon series, you know, were great when you were a little kid. But when you start watching them with an older eye, when you're older and you watch it with a more critical eye, it's like the good guys never lost a battle. It's like no matter what the odds were against them, no matter how much of an advantage the bad guys looked to have, they were always defeated. And so it's like you got to the point, it's like, well, yeah, that gets kind of, because you already know what the story's going to end up being like. And so as I got older, it's like I just don't enjoy those anymore. Oh yeah, oh absolutely, the Power Rangers are. But I always refer to Voltron in that because they had, as I recall, they had 3 different Voltrons. As I recall. And of course, the main one was the Voltron that were the lions. The lions would form into the giant robot. And then the other main one I recall, they were in space. It was another Voltron in space, and they were vehicles that would form this giant Voltron. But the difference was between the two. The ones that had the lions always won. It was the same trope to where no matter what, they were always going to win. And it's like, it frustrated me to no end, because to the point to where it seemed so cocky. You know, they were so cocky that they were going to win. Like the Power Rangers. Right, nothing was ever a threat. Samurai Pizza Cats. And the same thing with, and that's what drives me nuts about the Ninja Turtles too. It's like the Ninja Turtles are so popular, but I can't stand them because they always win. And they are so cocky. It's like, oh my God, I just want them to lose. And realize what humility is. It's like, that's why I can't stand Ninja Turtles. But it was the same thing. This Voltron, they would always win. Always. No matter what, they would always win. And it's like, oh my God, I can't stand this anymore. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum was the Space Voltron. They would always lose. You know, no matter what. They wouldn't lose in terms of, they would be defeated and everybody would die or anything like that. I think the concept of the Space Voltron is almost like the Battlestar Galactica, where they were fleeing, or they were in space, they were traveling, they were trying to get somewhere. Like the original Battlestar Galactica, they were, the concept was they were looking for the lost 13th colony. But with the Space Voltron, they were out in space looking for something, looking for a home, but they would always be defeated when you think they were just about to settle in and say, okay, finally, something good is about to happen, they would lose. And so that drove me it drove me nuts as much as the always winning stuff drove me nuts. So it's like, oh my God. So I think that's why I can't really, I kind of like the concept of the superhero thing, but why a lot of people can't get into. Oh, okay. All right, let me do it. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, it doesn't matter because this thing's a rental anyway. I gotta go turn this stuff in. We're good. Okay. All right, enough of the radio. Just turn the radio off now. But yeah, you're right. And that's exactly what it was. And that was the same thing with the G.I. Joe cartoon and the Transformers cartoon. It's like nobody ever died. No, nothing. There was no inherent danger, which is fine when you're a little kid. That's actually probably beneficial when you're a little kid. But when you get older, you want, it doesn't work as well. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, with me, how I would write, say, the Wheel of Time stuff. It's like, it probably wouldn't work too well. Not in the TV show. Not until the movie came out did any of them die. And the same thing with G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, none of the good guys ever died. None of the main nobody ever really died anyway in G.I. Joe. Because they all used laser guns, but they get into these battles every episode, but nobody died. That was the funniest thing looking at it from a more adult perspective. It's like, they're having this big old battle, and nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's dying. It was funny. But, Transformers, they didn't kill anybody off until the movie. When they killed them off in the original, I think it was 84. Was the movie in 84? That's when they killed a lot of the characters off. But G.I. Joe never really, in the original, the cartoony series, of course, the live action series, which I don't really. I watched bits and pieces of both movies. It's like, nope, not for me. But in the cartoon, I remember they did like a couple of movies for the cartoon, and it was the same thing. It's like, I think Serpentor was actually brought into one of the TV movies. You see, but that was in the movie. I'm trying to think. If any of them died, it was the bad guys, but it was none of the main ones. It was none of the main ones that I remember in the cartoon. I'm trying to think. See, I don't remember any of them dying in the TV series cartoon at all. Back in the original one, I don't remember any of them getting killed off. Now in the comics is what was different. So I remember that was the big thing with the G.I. Joe comic book. Because by that point, the toys, the Hasbro toys had been out for a good 4 or 5 years, and there was just so many of them, so many different ones that the crew, the Marvel crew, who is actually, who did the comic book at the time, said they just can't do good stories with all these characters. It's just too many characters to really do good stories on, because there was just so many ensemble. You couldn't really focus in on doing good, human stories with individual characters. So they ended up killing a whole bunch of the characters off in the comic book, and that was the big thing at the day, that Marvel and Hasbro would work together, and they got permission to say, okay, go ahead and do it, kill them off in the comic book. And that was really like the big shocker at the time. It's like, oh my God, they actually killed all these characters off. But that was towards the end of the comic book run. I think that's what ended up doing the comic book at the end of the day, is just that, nobody really wanted to see that, and so the comic became less popular. And then they did their G.I. Joe Transformers crossover comics, which was cool, but it was like, nah. That was when of course, by that time I was old enough not to really be into the comics anymore, so I ended up slowing down and stopping my collection of comics at that time. But yeah, that was the big thing then. But yeah, I can't remember anybody dying in the actual TV show. The only time I remember the Transformers starting to get killed off was in the original movie that had come out. But yeah, I think that's well, I don't know where we were going with this story, but there it is. The things we remember. Actually, I don't. Let me do this. Let me accept these contracts. We managed to get this contract done. It helps when we're telling stories. All right, so let's go here so I can collect all my contract stuff here. Boom. All right, so we got that. Nothing really big. Yeah, see, there's the lease cost. Field 12. We'll collect that. Boom. We'll collect that. Boom. So we are good. Excellent. So that was good. We got a little bit accomplished. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, look, and it's 6 o'clock now. The sun is coming up. 6 o'clock. The sun is coming up. All right. That will take care of that for today. Number 5. Yeah, I know. Talking about about the origin of the superhero. But yeah, Power Rangers. Oh my God, they're just terrible with that. Sometimes you just like to see the hero get beat up, because it makes for a greater story in the end. Beat up and lose, but it is what it is at the end of the day. There we go, and this is what it is. We've completed our run of our favorite farming simulators. With number 19 here coming in at number 5, starting out with number 5. So we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4 more games to go. 2 more series to go, the Hunters and the Truck Simulators. So thank you as always, Kat, for joining me, and thank you for a great conversation here, talking about superheroes and stuff, and cats, talking about our cats and everything else. So awesome. Good to see you, and we'll hopefully again see you tomorrow, next time. What do I got planned for next time? Well, let's see. I'm doing Wildlife Park in the morning. And then I think, we'll be doing the Hunter Classic in the afternoon. And then I've got, what am I doing in the evening? Because I still have to do my RMG Gaming Simulator stream. Oh, American Truck Simulator. That's what I'm doing tomorrow night, American Truck Simulator, with a new West Star. We're going to pick up a new West Star 94X, literally new in the game and new in real life. released in the game 24 hours after the truck was officially released for sale in the real world. But anyway, thank you, Kat. As always, good to see you. Great chat we had today, and it's good. Thanks for swinging by earlier for Guild Wars. We'll have to plan for next. I'm trying to think next. Actually, no, next. No, I'm not going to do Guild Wars next Sunday because I'm doing the Hunter fundraising stream next Sunday. So we're going to be doing Guild Wars Monday morning. So hopefully you can join me Monday morning for some dungeons. We'll get some dungeons out of the way next week on Monday for our Adventures of the Vanguard. But in the meantime, thank you everybody else for watching. Don't forget, this is actually for Extra Life to raise money for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, helping sick kids get better. Donate safely, securely, and anonymously. Check our video description after we highlight this and upload it on YouTube for our Extra Life participant link. Or, of course, you can always come to our About page on Twitch and click one of those banners as well to get to our participant page. In the meantime, thank you for watching, everyone. It is a great pleasure doing this for you and with you. And hopefully we can hit $325 before 100 days of gaming. 2020 wraps up in a scant month and a half. I think we only got 5 weeks because I'm not doing this on consecutive days, so it's harder to tell. We've got 3.5 more lists to go. Well, less than 3.5 lists because already number 5 is done here. So we got 4 games and 3 more lists to go. Thank you for watching, everyone. I am BJ Wilder. We're going to kick off our rerun as soon as I highlight this and add it to the rerun. And then we'll be back again tonight for, Hunter Call the Wild on channel RMG Gaming 2. But more fun stuff coming up this week. Updated the schedule, so all the schedules are updated on our channels and in our Discord for the coming week. And so thank you for watching, everyone. I am BJ Weiler. Until next time, I will see you in game. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Be a real-life hero for kids. Consider making just a $1 donation for CHOP. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time.